Hello, and welcome to this video overview of the 5 A's of successful customer engagement. My name is Brett Fraser, co-founder of Service Matters LLC and the author of Your Hidden Profit Center, Mastering the 5 A's of Successful Customer Engagement. And I'm excited to share with you how this framework can help you transform your customer support organization into a profit-driving value center. So let's take a look at what we'll cover together today and what I hope you'll take away with you. So here's a quick overview. Prior to introducing the 5 A's framework, I'll share some thoughts on why the current traditional cost center approach just doesn't work. Then as we introduce each of the elements of the 5 A's of successful customer engagement, we'll provide some insights to the impact this has had through case studies and success stories. And then we'll wrap up with some additional resources available for you to take your own 5 A's journey. From your time investment, I hope that you take away an insight and inkling of a potential new blueprint to help you improve the engagements with your customers. The related core skills for your agents to be successful in implementing this framework, and the KPIs to measure your impact, all of which I hope sparks your desire to learn more about how you can achieve greater value through your customer engagements. Now, before we jump into looking at the old way, who are we here for? Who benefits or suffers from how our customer engagements are designed? When I think about this, most directly influenceable for the work that we do, the time that we invest, the technology that we put in place, etc., is our staff. Making it easier for them, both our front office and our back office staff, to perform their work improves their experience and their engagement. This improvement influences our end customers' experience. And when our end customers are happy, they make our leadership and our investors happy. So let's start with our exploration today. Let's look at what happens in the traditional cost center approach. You know what? Customer support has faced significant challenges over the years with declining satisfaction rates and increasing customer expectations. And this traditional cost center driven approach of assisting customers as quickly and cheaply as possible and then getting on to the next transaction often falls short in our fast-paced and customer-centric world. Now, I'm sure many of you have had this similar experience of calling a company because you've had a problem. You get an agent who says, "How can I help you?" You explain your issue, you explain the frustrations caused, tell them what you've done to fix it, and even sometimes you tell them what you want them to do for you, only to be met with, "Okay, can I have your email address or your account number, please?" You're probably viscerally remembering and feeling how that felt at the time, and your reaction was probably one of two things: either to begrudgingly give your account number, your email address, or to say, "Wait a minute, you didn't hear me, you didn't understand. Let me repeat my process." And it's this start to transactions which leads to these negative outcomes overall for your company, for your customers, and for your agents. When recently discussing this with Shep Hyken, he described it as many companies following this paradigm being in a race to the bottom. This is why we need a new approach. And the good news is there is a better way. Looking at customer support as a value center, a way that creates value for your agents, for your customers, and for your outcome, and for your company. A way that leads to better outcomes for all of those parties involved. Introducing the 5 A's of successful customer engagement. Now, this framework focuses on 5 key areas of the successful customer engagement: acknowledge, align, assist, advise, and ask. Each of them plays a critical role in creating that positive agent and customer experience while driving business value. Now, I know that this approach can work because it was the foundation for turning around a cost center driven experiential and financial decline while at Sunbasket. And once we put this in place, it then resulted in 12 continuous quarters of improvement on our top line KPIs, as well as overall improvement across these key elements to success of our company, our customers, and our employees. Now, before we jump into the framework, I just want to touch on a key element. Obviously, with the advancements in robotic process automation, large language models, and visual AI, the role of automation in customer support is undeniable. And companies must now decide not if, but what and how to automate to stay competitive and cost effective. The 5 A's of successful customer engagement framework allows leveraging and is an optimal place to leveraging automation to enrich both the human touch and complex interactions with agent assistants, as well as creating satisfying, fully automated experiences for simpler, highly repeatable issues. Now, I'm not going to go through each of those today, but in the book, each chapter around each of the 5 A's of the framework has a specific area where it talks about how automation and AI can be integrated to improve each of those steps. Okay, with that in mind, let's jump into the framework. We're going to start with the first step of acknowledge. And this step really is around recognizing and validating the customer's issue and their emotional state. It's about making the customer feel heard and understood, which really lays the foundation for meaningful connection. While most organizations focus on fulfilling the practical needs of the customer engagement, many overlook an equally important aspect, their emotional need. There are really 3 core emotional needs that customers may have when they reach out for help. The need to feel heard and understood, the desire for a sense of importance, and assurance and peace of mind. Now, effectively addressing these needs sets up the foundation for trust to transform short-term transactions with your company into long-term relationships. In comparison to our earlier greeting, jumping straight into asking for the email address, an effective acknowledgement would sound like this. Brett, as a new customer, I can totally understand why, insert problem, led you to frustration and concern. It's absolutely not the experience we wanted you to have today. And I can truly also understand why you're asking for, insert requested solution. I'm here to help you to get to the optimal outcome today. As you can imagine, there's a level of empathy competence that will be required to hire to and then further train to with your agents, as well as providing them the insight about your customers to enable them to consistently deliver this type of personalized acknowledgement for each customer that they interact with. At Sunbasket, one of the agents described the shift that she saw after adopting this approach as visibly shifting customers' responses. They genuinely felt heard and understood, setting up a positive tone for the rest of the interaction and supporting their belief that they would be provided with the proper solution for their situation. So it lays that foundation for the customer satisfaction across the rest of the interaction. Great. So the first is to really acknowledge your customer, the relationship with the company, and the problem and any requested solutions they have. Okay, from here, we move on to the next stage, which is aligning. And this is all about truly aligning on the specifics of your customer's situation, as well as their desired outcome. Quite often when customers provide us with a solution, it's just a pathway to an actual outcome that they may not express. And that's what they're truly trying to achieve. So for instance, a customer asking for a refund, the refund itself isn't the solution. It's a pathway for the outcome for them to be able to have the purchasing power of their money back. And so if the agent can allow in this outcome, then there may be scenarios where a credit may be more of an optimal solution for the customer. When done well, this approach helps to shift the customer's perspective from it's me against the agent and the company and the problem to it's me and the agent against the problem. And this is a game changer for both customers and agents. Now, the skill for this requires active listening. For the agent to be able to truly understand and hear and listen to what it is that the customer is really wanting to get to. It also requires a combination of leadership developing multiple potential solutions of how to get to the different outcomes that could arise for your customers. and then making sure that you can start to tailor those needs or those outcomes to each of those needs. A specific example from Sunbasket, um, a food delivery company, would be when a customer's shipment of their food was delayed. And that occasionally left customers without the meal that they were expecting. And quite often, one of the solutions that customers would request from us was to reship their meal. Now, the way that our organization worked, it wasn't something that we were able to do. But knowing our customers' journey and knowing that their primary outcome was getting dinner on the table, our agent could then address the matter in this approach. Something similar to, Monique, I know you were counting on sharing your Sunbasket with your friends for dinner tonight. While we don't have the ability to ship you a new meal, in order to still get you a memorable dinner on the table, I can provide you with a gift card to a delivery company of your choice. Would that help you? Or would you prefer to discuss a credit or refund? Now, once you have that alignment established, in order to move on to the next level of assist, then you can ask for your customer's email address to get started. And so I kind of poo-pooed the element of asking for the email address, but it's needed, right? So once you've got this through this element, then you can say, so we can get started with this, may I have or may I confirm your email address? And now your customer has a desire in order to be able to give that email address and understand why they need to give it and give it to you openly. Going through this approach of alignment reduces your customer's effort in being able to get to the solution and the outcome that they're looking for. Okay, let's move on from here. The third step is the assist. And this is where companies spend most of their time trying to jump straight into the assist very quickly. It's very important, but doing those key elements beforehand and the acknowledging the align sets you up in order to be able to be even more effective in the resolutions you provide. And this is really offering those effective and personalized solutions to the customer's problems, and as often as possible, providing them with more than one solution to achieve their outcome from. For instance, we talked about a gift card, a refund, a credit. By doing so, we not only resolve their immediate issue, but we enhance their overall experience and their likelihood of satisfaction with their resolution because they had an element of choice when it came down to that. And so the key agent skill here is situational problem solving, to truly understand which of the solutions are right for the specific scenario, and then matching that specific outcome or giving the option of those choices, and maybe even I recommend this, but we can definitely do these. Now, in doing so, the idea is we're trying to influence the resolution. A customer service leader at Paxful, a cryptocurrency company, commented that we saw far fewer escalations and customer callbacks due to customers feeling misunderstood or unhappy with the resolution that they were offered after putting this 5 O's framework in place. Okay, so we've assisted our customers. And if you do those first 3 things, we acknowledge, you align, and you assist, it can enable your company to, your support function to become more effectively and operate more effective as a cost center, improving metrics such as customer effort score, satisfaction, and resolution rate. It can also reduce the number of contacts needed for resolution, and with that, the cost per contact. However, stopping at the assist potentially leaves significant untapped value on the table, both for your customer and for your organization. So let's look at the final 2 steps of the framework that enable the capability to transform your organization into a value center, enhancing the immediate customer experience and contributing to long-term organizational benefits. So advise is the 4th step, and this step focuses on providing personalized and proactive advice that extends beyond resolving the current issue. By knowing who your customers are, what they're trying to achieve with your product or service, and where they are in their customer journey, you have the opportunity to enrich their experience with tailored insight, guidance, or recommendations that create value for them in addition to the solution that they came to you with. It helps your agents to become an advocate, and it leads to creating reciprocity with your customers. Now, this type of advice could be confirming that they've completed the steps of their onboarding, asking about a portion of the service that they've paid for but they're not using, or helping them to avoid future solutions or future problems. It's tailoring that advice to your specific customer situation. That last one of helping them to avoid future problems is not only good for the customer because it prevents them from running into a repeat of the same issue or a different problem in the future, but it's also good for the company as you don't then have to input or invest in servicing that problem. So something like that could sound like, before you go, about 40% of our customers who experience the issue that we resolved today go on to experience insert a new problem within the following month. If you have a couple extra minutes, I'd like to walk you through an additional couple of steps to make sure that this doesn't happen to you. Would you like my help with this now? This was also a great time to share context on potentially where an automated solution may have been able to assist a customer as, if not more effectively, with less time. By the way, John, if you run into this problem again, you have access to a 24/7 self-guided support center where with a few clicks, you can take care of this problem yourself. Would you like me to quickly show you how to do that? By sharing these types of advice, we build trust and create a reciprocal relationship with our customer. As one agent put it, introducing the advise step transforms our approach to customer service, allows us to build deeper relationships with customers by becoming their advocates, by educating them on our service and offering them useful future solutions. This is what helps to transition into customer retention as well as cost optimization. Okay, on to the last step. Finally, we have the ask step. And this involves making situationally appropriate, targeted requests that tap into this built reciprocity in order to create opportunities for future and further engagements and value creation. So the key concept here, there are 4 different types of asks that can create this value impact. The obvious ask is the direct ask for revenue, the upsell, the cross-sell, the renewal, or the retention. But not every customer support organization is set up for this. And there are 3 other additional asks that any organization can tap into. The second is the ask for action. By knowing what actions your high customer lifetime value customers take, or the high profitability customers take, you can then use your engagements to ask your customers to take these actions. E.g., if you know that a customer who downloads or uses your app is a higher stickability customer, a higher lifetime value customer, and you can put that telemetry about your customer's data to know that this customer hasn't downloaded their app, you can provide that recommendation. John, our customers who use our app tell us that they have a much better experience with our product overall. I see that you haven't downloaded it yet. Would you like some help and guidance on how to do that? Or if you know that customers who download white papers are stickier, recommending or suggesting a white paper based on the conversation you've had with them, what you know about them, what you know where they are in their journey. Asking them to leave a review, asking them to participate in a targeted customer feedback section. All these actions that, if you can understand those actions that are of high value customers, high profitability customers, and trigger those actions through your interactions with your customers. The next is an ask for information. Nearly every department in a company is seeking and often investing in obtaining information from customers. Marketing departments look for feedback on programs launched or indications on what programs to launch. Product development teams want to understand what new features are going to be most desirable for their customers. Logistics teams want to understand what delivery days or times are more optimal. The list goes on. This information is valuable to the organization to create more value for customers. So tapping into this existing customer engagements can augment or replace these other mechanisms that are being used, helping to lower the total cost of the company, and also helping to create a stream of information and increase the value of your customer support organization back into your peers across the rest of the company. Each week you can set up, or each month you can talk to your peers and ask them, what would you like to understand from our customers this month, and then send them a weekly report. The fourth ask is the ask to create awareness. And this can be used both as an extension of the advocate role described in the advise stage by asking questions that educate customers about new product features and functionality that can bring value to their specific situation. For example, Zeke, I know you mentioned you spend a lot more time than you'd like creating reports. Were you aware that we have X product or add-on that has helped customers just like you significantly reduce the time they spend on their reporting? Would you like to know more about that today? Well, maybe it's making them aware of an upcoming event or relevant activity that's happening in the future to build a higher engagement with it. For example, a special announcement that may be coming in the next newsletter email. Fiona, as we finish, I just want to give you a heads up on a special announcement coming in next month's newsletter. You may not open all the emails you receive from us, but this one you'll absolutely want to. I can't tell you what's in it. It's a secret for now, but you'll thank me later. This last one here, it's about situational awareness. CS expert Colin Crowley indicates that leaders often take the ask as an entitlement. However, the right to make an ask must be earned by delivering the value first through the advice stage and ensuring that the agents have the appropriate situational awareness to enable them and the performance criteria to know what type of ask to make is just as important of knowing when not to ask. So effectively implementing the ask is what the step that evolves your organization from basic goals of customer retention and problem resolution into leveraging the full potential of every customer interaction to generate substantial value and, by extension, profit. So let's do a quick recap of the framework. We start by acknowledging, which lays the foundation for a higher satisfaction across the entire interaction. And this key skill is leveraged empathy. From there, we move to align on both the situation, but more importantly, the key outcome. And by knowing how to get to the key outcome, we address the ability to lower effort for our customers. And the way to get there is through active listening. This moves us into assist, where we provide better solutions through situational problem solving. Moving beyond the cost center, we create reciprocity by advising customers that leads to greater loyalty and can reduce our costs. And this is through being advocates for our customer. And that culminates with the ask, which drives increased customer lifetime value and is backed by situational awareness. Thank you for investing your time and watching this overview of the 5 A's of successful customer engagement. I hope you found this valuable and inspiring. To continue your learning journey, please consider ordering this book from here on the page, or downloading the free implementation guide, or reaching out for customized coaching from the team at Service Matters. Thank you, and have a great day.